Alrighty then. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this week's edition of the Whitfield Report. I am your host, Sam Whitfield, broadcasting live from Southern Florida here at the NGC TV studios. I want to thank you so much for joining us. Sorry for the delay in starting tonight's program. I actually had some technical difficulties. The computer that I was using completely froze up when I started the program, so the one I usually use. So I had to shut everything down, and I'm actually on my laptop this go round, and I'm using just standard earbuds tonight, but hopefully the sound quality is good. So without further ado, contact info as usual. You can follow me on Twitter at @somebody_NGC and Instagram as well at @somebody_NGC. Hashtag Whitfield Report. You can follow me on Gab. At Sam Whitfield, Facebook.com/Whitfield Report, TheSamWhitfield.com. Folks, by now you should know my contact info, but, I guess it's a holdover from when I used to do the audio-only podcast. And as always, you can live chat, which, by the way, shout out to Mr. Brian Askew. Brian, I am in my kitchen/dining room area. That is exactly where I'm at. So shout out to you, Mr. Brian Askew. You're kind of the ringleader of the Savages. So you're the one that came up with the name. So anyway, folks, this is going to be more of like a casual show tonight. But we will be covering some stuff. I guess the first thing I want to cover is an article I ran across about Nikolas Cruz, the shooter who did the shooting in Parkland, Florida. There are new developments on him. He was actually pretty abusive towards his mother. And let me pull up the article. And this kind of confirms everything that I was theorizing about this kid early on. So let me pull up the article. But, yeah. Oh, yeah, and of course, casual in Brian's world, means no pants. So, it also means no pants in, Brittany Rose's world, though, too. I don't know if she's popped up in any of my streams. Well, I actually know she hasn't, because if she had, I would be probably interrupting myself and literally and figuratively falling all over myself, probably. But anyway, why am I still getting whenever I type in the name Nicholas, why am I still getting those Nicholas Sparks results in Google? Okay, found the link. So, folks, this article comes from the Sun Sentinel, which is a publication here in Florida. Shout out to my friend Drina Sixtu, who works for Turning Point USA. She's the one who posted this on her timeline. and I'm going ahead and using this for the purposes of tonight's show. And anyway, yeah, I'll install the driver later. Okay, so now it's so headline: School shooter tormented his mother, yet escorted him to buy an AK-47. Again, not really a surprise, but let's see what this is all about. Okay. By Megan O'Mat's reporter, Nicholas Cruz's mom thought he was too disturbed to ever live on his own, but she took him to buy an AK-47 anyway, according to documents released Friday by prosecutors in the Parkland school shootings. An employee from Gun World of South Florida, oops, I just doxed myself, told detectives that an older woman, who thought he was Cruz's grandmother, but likely was his mother, Linda Cruz, came with him to the Deerfield Beach shop where Cruz bought an AK-47 rifle. He was 18. That woman later called the store and asked that the gun not be released to him if she wasn't present, because he's just young, and I want to make sure he's safe and everything, she told the clerk. But the employee, Kevin Fiante, told her Cruz was 18 and as an adult was legally allowed to pick up the gun unless she believed he was not fit to own one. The woman told Fante, "No, he's fine. I just want to make sure he's safe. You know, he's young, the first gun," he told detectives. Linda Cruz was 68. Linda Cruz was 68 when she died of pneumonia in November of 2017. Her son had turned 18 a year earlier. She had raised him and his brother, both adopted, as a single parent for many years after losing her husband when Nicholas was a tot. Cruz is accused of killing 17 staff and students at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School on Valentine's Day of this year. Which, when you think about it, folks, is really, that's almost unbelievable when I read that, because with the speed of the news cycle these days, it almost feels like that was 5 years ago. Really unbelievable. Back to the article. Prosecutors by law are releasing documents to the defense, including witness statements that also must be made available to the media. Nearly 200 pages released Friday revealed the strange dichotomy of a woman who was afraid of her troubled son, yet indulged his passions for guns. Linda Cruz confided to friend Marnie Garvey of Coral Springs that Cruz probably would spend the rest of his life with her and would never be able to be an independent. She just always used to say, "I just want to get him out of high school. I just want to get him out of high school," Garvey told a Broward County Sheriff's Office. She said, "I know he's never going to be able to move out." School records show Nicholas was found to be developmentally delayed at age 3. He also had a host of other problems, including attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or ADHD, depression, and an emotional behavioral disability. His mother described him to police as autistic. Garvey said Cruz had screaming episodes and would tell his mother to go fuck herself. And I wish you would die. He pushed her, you know? He was very violent with her, Garvey said. By the way, folks, this is the biggest crock of shit ever. Obviously, having a physical disability, I'm more sympathetic, usually, to other people with disabilities. But now it seems like, every kid who is an asshole is getting labeled as having ADHD or some, developmental. It's a fucking excuse, for them to be psychotic assholes. And, going further in this article, this kind of proves my point. Cruz used to punch holes in the wall. He used to throw furniture over. He broke TVs. He was very into guns, explained Garvey, who said she knew the family for about 7 years. Their sons went to camp together. Cruz was an odd kid who made us all nervous, she said. Once, Cruz hit her son in the head with a ladle. He was very abusive. He was a rough kid. Yeah, well, lady, I hate to say this, but what the hell were you doing allowing your kid to hang out with them in the first place? If this other kid, was beating your kid. Just seems a little fucked up in my book. Garvey said Linda Cruz used to whisper in the house so Nicholas didn't hear her talking because she was afraid of his obsession with guns. Yet Garvey told detectives his mother was the one who took him for the gun. Paul Gold, a former neighbor of the Cruz family, told investigators Linda Cruz was a caring mother but was overwhelmed by 2 sons with behavioral problems. Nicholas had terrible emotional problems and he had trouble controlling his temper. He said Nicholas could be very sweet but then would freak out and start throwing things and breaking things and starting and holding his ears and screaming. Yeah, Brian, I'm right with you here. That's my whole entire point. Brian in the chat, for those of you listening on the audio podcast, says, "Who cares? He was an adult. What if he took a bus? Do we blame the bus driver?" Yeah, exactly. This is my this is my fucking problem with all these ADHD, all these cognitive, disability levels. We're not. You can almost diagnose any asshole with anything these days and have it be an excuse. Okay. Nicholas knocked some of his mother's teeth out, and she was still paying the $2,000 dental bills when she died, according to the testimony of a cousin of Linda Cruz. Yeah, folks. So, yeah, most like, yeah, mental disability, my ass. This kid was just an abusive asshole who was going to do this shit. Okay. Another statement Friday, was from a teenager from Washington State who never met Nicholas Cruz but conversed with him through Instagram. The teen said Cruz was angry at school because he got bullied a lot, and that he hated school because of that. He would talk about going shooting and would talk about hurting himself every once in a while, too. The two guys communicated on January 30th, 2018, 2 weeks before the attack. So fucking what? He was bullied in school. You know what? Here's the dirty secret, ladies and gentlemen. This is what the left won't, tell people because it's 2018 and PC culture, but everyone bullies everyone in high school, right? Even the jocks I knew, and even the quote-unquote popular kids, kids are assholes to each other in high school. That's just the way things go. And yet, the vast majority of kids aren't going to go, shoot up a school because they were bullied. I'm so sick of that narrative that, someone could go and shoot up a school because they were bullied. Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, bro. Well, also, Gabe, so Gabe says, I feel like a father now might have raised a red flag. Well, that's the problem, too. This is a direct criticism of feminism. I'm not trying to make it about that, but this does go to show that this kid could have, used a father figure. He probably could have used an ass whooping, too. I mean, I know this is 2018, and in terms of millennials, I'm kind of like an older millennial, and this is going to kind of sound archaic, but I was spanked as a kid when I got in trouble, folks. And, I didn't get spanked very often, but when I did, I learned to behave. So therefore, I didn't get spanked very often. It works. Now that doesn't mean beat your kid with like a bat or something, but a light spanking has never hurt a kid. In fact, it's not at home. Thank God I've hit. Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, you're still more stable than some parents, man. But anyway, yeah. I could continue reading on, but long story short, it just goes on to how oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Excuse, bro. Oh yeah, bro. I mean, I can get behind most of humor, but that's a little rough. That's a little messed up, even for me. Uh, uh, but anyway, yeah. So, long story short, why do I bring this up, ladies and gentlemen? 2 reasons. One, this this is pretty much confirming my theory of bunches of months later that this is a mental health thing and not a gun control issue. So take note, David Hogg. Yeah, Benjamin has nothing on you after that. But yeah, this just goes to prove my theory that the whole, gun control thing is, it's a farce. And I hope David Hogg read that. read this article. I know he didn't because he's busy being, well, now that he's irrelevant and he's 18, he's probably out like at like a strip club somewhere snorting coke off some stripper's titties or whatever. What? Yeah, you heard me. David Hogg seems like one of those kids. So, but anyway, yeah. So this kid was indeed a psycho. He wasn't, he didn't just have a bad day. This kid had issues out the wazoo, and this should vindicate anyone who believes in the Second Amendment, because once again, we're right, and all these mass shootings link back to, mental health issues and just in general psychos. And I'm beginning to think that Michael Savage is right about maybe the fact that we should have, that we should have institutionalized mental hospitals again, because freaks like these, they need it. So, anyway, folks, that's, I just wanted to share that with you. That article broke today, so I figured I would share that with you. Next up, I've been getting some tweets, and actually people have actually emailed me asking about what the hell the NPC memes are. They've been popping on Twitter and social media for the last 2 weeks. And so, I wasn't really sure what they were myself. It seems like we're getting like a new series of memes every 3 weeks or so. So, now NPC memes are the big thing, and those are those little, poorly drawn, intentionally poorly drawn memes of the grayed out zombie people. Anyway, Paul Joseph Watson, I know that lots of you subscribe to him but don't see his videos. Paul Joseph Watson just put up a pretty great video on what NPC memes are, so I want to go ahead and play that for you and do some commentary. And once I start the video, I'm going to also plug my computer in. So here is Paul Joseph Watson on NPC memes. Clip number 1, roll the tape.
So what's this all about then? The NPC meme. NPCs are non-player characters in video games. Instead of being controlled by humans, they're controlled by artificial intelligence. Their actions are all predetermined by their coding, making them appear robot-like, formulaic, repeating the same movements and saying the same things over and over again. Walking cliches, just unconsciously repeating the same glib mantras. Now, who could that possibly remind you of?
Believe all women.
Real quick, I just have to say that hang on, let me scroll back a bit. That chick in the front is mildly hot. Mildly, but nah. She's a lefty. So, yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, continuing on, just had to make that observation. Bye, Mr. Nacho. Hope you can cross the border back to Mexico. Okay.
Believe all women. Believe in something even if it means sacrificing everything. Refugees welcome.
But the left has struck back. They say the NPC meme is dehumanizing. Oh my god, so dehumanizing.
NPC meme is dehumanizing. We are all unique and special.
Remember, these are some of the same people who call anyone to the right of Joseph Stalin a Nazi. Oh, but now you care about people being dehumanized. Cry me a fucking river.
Anyone unironically using the term NPC in reference to anything other than video games is automatically a Nazi in my book!
And when we're not being demonized as the new Fourth Reich, we're being belittled and dismissed as Russian bots.
NPC is a fascist term to dehumanizers. Everyone right of centre is a Russian bot. Does not compute.
I assume whoever began pushing that meme was looking to further dehumanize their opposition by linking it to the in-game NPC players that are easily killed. Someone is pushing for a civil war. Russia, I assume.
Civil war? The fuck are you talking about? It's a meme. It's not the Battle of Fort Sumter.
Stop it. Get some help.
They also slapped it with the dehumanizing label to try and get it banned because Twitter recently said it would ban people for using, quote, dehumanizing language. So again, even in the process of denying that they're NPCs, they act like NPCs in advocating for a sterilized internet where edgy banter is verboten. But maybe these NPCs really aren't human. Maybe they just like basic bitch social trends and banal popular culture as a default effort, as a way of just trying to blend in. After all, what else could explain the success of The Big Bang Theory and How I Met Your Mother? There's also this weird disconnect where they dismiss NPC as a pathetic playground insult not worthy of attention, yet then write laborious article after article after article being triggered by it. The same thing they did with Soy Boys. What happens to kids who react to playground insults? They get the same insult thrown at them again and again because it obviously gets under their skin.
Immediately stop following and retweeting anyone using an avatar like the one pictured below. These are 4chan trolls impersonating resistors. I keep seeing this garbage all over my feed tonight.
The NPC meme gets under the left's skin because it's mostly true. The left has mainstreamed a culture of ruthless ideological intolerance. The left has completely rejected diversity of thought. When Taylor Swift tells everyone to vote Democrat, it's an admirable call to action. But when Kanye merely suggests that black people think about not voting Democrat, he's ridiculed and called insane.
Hello, I am a comedian on the television. If you disagree with my politics, you must be mentally ill.
You lot literally tell husbands and wives to divorce each other if their partner isn't a Democrat. You openly advocate the breakup of families for, God forbid, having different opinions to each other. You lot reduce anyone of a certain skin colour to be mandated to hold certain political opinions. And then if they don't, their very existence is deemed hateful. How is that not dehumanising? If that's not the very essence of being an NPC, then what is? Is their favourite news network MSNPC? Or is it this one? Is their favourite TV show? Is their favourite comedian? Is their favourite politician? Is their favourite political commentator? Is their favourite celebrity?
Hello, fellow humans. I am celebrity number 2932. I believe in everything that is safe and popular with people aged 18 to 35. You may now praise me on the social media platform of your choice. Remember to purchase my newly manufactured album.
Here's a visual representation of how
Real quick, I just gotta say I love Paul Just Watson's NPC impression slash the Borg. That would be like a great like action comedy movie. Just the DZ versus NPCs. So yeah, I could just picture Brian with a double-barreled shotgun just blasting NPCers. So yeah, these NPC memes are even more hilarious now because I've been watching The Matrix for the past couple weeks, or I should say rewatching. But let's see.
Twitter works.
I agree. Our agreement with each other's views means we are right and the other side's evil hatred must be stopped. Well, I got all of these accounts suspended, but why do I still feel so empty and pathetic?
Here's the Krasenstein twins. Here's their arch enemy.
Black not equal Democrat. System error.
Here's... God only knows what this is. And here's what happens to anyone who suggests that maybe Trump isn't the new Hitler.
Rape is bad. Orange Man is bad. I'm still waiting for someone to tell me what I am outraged over today. I follow such a diverse range of people, and for me this is what Twitter is all about. Get out of your echo chambers and start listening to unique and individual voices. I agree with whatever Twitter terms of use says I should agree with.
As Evan James writes, the NPC meme is a response to something real, something that snarky liberals and even leftists increasingly fail to notice. In short, it is a tragicomic acknowledgement that things are not okay, that we are all NPCs to one degree or another because we're all in bondage. The NPC meme lampoons our tendency to consume the products of mass culture precisely because they are easy to process, requiring neither personal effort nor prior learning. Serious cultural engagement requires focus. It nevertheless has a rejuvenating effect, whereas the passive consumption of mass culture leaves us more enervated than before. And the same goes for political opinion.
For those of you listening on the audio podcast, you have to see some of these NPC memes. I know the deal that they were making video edits of the NPC memes. Those are brilliant, if I do say so myself. Absolutely, just brilliant. I will get into the DZ again here soon. You guys, it's an endless chat stream, and I'm like in 50 of them already. We need to do more live hangouts. That's what we need to do. So.
It takes a modicum of research and a small step beyond superficial thinking to understand that no, not everyone who doesn't have hashtag FBPE or a blue wave in their profile is an alt-right neo-Nazi. And no, Donald Trump isn't leading America into a dystopian nightmare where the planet's oceans boil over and women who have abortions are sent to concentration camps.
You are fake news.
Everyone freaked out over the EU planning to ban memes. Twitter is already banning NPC memes and the accounts of people who post them. Oh, you can make your avatar a Trump orange or a Cheeto all day long, you're not going to get banned. Of course, we all know why the left wants to ban memes. Because the left can't meme. That's not just a cliche. They admit to it. A study undertaken by researchers at University College London found that the most effective memes largely originated in two places, the Donald subreddit and 4chan. A Vice write-up of the study acknowledges that the most, quote, effectively spread memes originated on the Donald and Pol. That's why they want to ban the NPC meme. Not because it's dehumanizing. They dehumanize us at every available opportunity. They want to ban it because it's effective, and they have no adequate way of responding because they can't meme. They can't meme because memes incorporate edgy humor. Oh my god, so edgy. The left is incapable of edgy humor because they're always walking on eggshells. They're always terrified of offending someone. That's how they ruined comedy.
Oh, this meme's dead now. You talked about it. You kill more memes than PewDiePie.
Shut up. As I've explained before, with facts and evidence, I don't kill memes. I send them into space. I'm the SpaceX of memes.
Give people more credit.
I've killed fewer memes than the amount of Native American DNA in Elizabeth Warren's blood. So yes, the NPC meme is funny and effective because it's mostly true. That's why they hate it. That's why, with the midterms just a few weeks away, and with the walk-away movement growing, the NPC meme freaks them out.
Please click the big red button to subscribe. It really helps me when you do that. And click the bell to allow notifications so you never miss a new video.
Yeah, well, I already did that, Paul. Anywho, so what about that Stormy Daniels chick, ladies and gentlemen? Did Trump mean to say horse face or whores face? I think it's whores face myself. I mean, depending on which device he was tweeting on, whether it be Android or iPhone, it could have been a mistake. It could have meant whore's face and it autocorrected to whore's face. Okay. Gabe, he can't hear you. Oh yeah, Paul Hudson. I thought maybe my audio was off. Well, he might not be able to hear me, but he can read my thoughts. He knows I'm there. So yeah, well, yeah, nay, don't settle with this that's good. Here's the thing. I don't, the fact that the left is still like defending Stormy Daniels' honor or trying to is hilarious to me. She's a porn star, guys. She sucks dick and does other things for money. Okay? The fact that Trump had consensual sex with her, and now that she's deciding that, like, it wasn't or whatever. I mean, I can guarantee you she's probably done far worse things than she's probably done worse things with her quote unquote, professional co-workers than with now POTUS. So and Brian, I'm curious, what is the percentage of your Native American ancestry? Because I can almost guarantee you, Brian, and really this goes for anyone else here, I can guarantee you that we're probably I can guarantee you that we're all probably more Native than they are. Oh yeah, Gabe, thanks for correcting me. Yeah. Porn participant. Star gets thrown around more than they do. So, Brian, my ancestors killed Indians. So did mine, Brian. So did mine. But yeah, whatever. Between Stormy Daniels and Elizabeth Warren, whatever blue wave the Dems thought they were going to mount is basically dying. It's dead. It's not coming back anytime soon. So yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, geez, Elizabeth Warren is whiter than I am. That chick is she doesn't look Native American. I could kind of see her having like Quaker ancestry or like Mennonite ancestry, because she kind of looks like one. She looks, if you've ever seen a photo of her, I think she looks a little bit like Dana Carvey's church lady character, except not funny or way too, stuck up. The Powwow Chow book was a joke. See, here's the thing. I guess here's the beauty. I was listening to Rush Limbaugh's show on Thursday, and a bunch of Native Americans actually called in and said that everyone in the Native American community is pretty pissed off at Elizabeth Warren. She's been culturally appropriating Native American culture for years for political purposes. Isn't that what the left is always preaching them about? But anywho, well, folks, that'll do it for tonight's live stream. I'm going to do another live stream tomorrow morning, probably. But anyway, folks, I want to thank you for tuning in to kind of my casual show / stand-up comedy routine tonight. Oh, excuse me, sit-down comedy routine in my case. Thank you for listening. You can and viewing. You can subscribe to this channel. Give us a like, and I'll have more clips for you tomorrow. We've got some good stuff, and people have asked me about the Khashoggi thing. I'm going to do more research on that tonight, and hopefully all of the equipment back up and running tomorrow, folks. Anyway, from all of us here at NGC Studios, good night, God bless, and God save this great nation.